So in the previous video, I chose to go the route of solving for b, which was the slope, right, in our general model, right, because it's in the general structure. If you look below, y hat equals b sub o plus b1 x sub I, or y hat equals b sub o plus b1 x, if you want, right? So I found the b. Now I just need to figure out the a. All right, so that would be the other expression on the right-hand side of this equation. So that's our goal here. All right. Now, I will take it as a typo for my wonderful students to submit. I probably should have reversed those two expressions, the b1 and the b sub o. You know, it could coincide with what's written above it, the b sub o plus b sub 1 times x. Right, so that's a little something. I don't know if it qualifies as an Easter egg, but it's something. Okay, so I got to figure out a. So I'm going to take my a equation, eventually, paste it over here, and I'm going to replace the b with my b expression. All right, so actually let me keep this. I'll just duplicate, so at least we know what we're merging. It's running a little sluggish today for some reason. I'm willing to bet it's probably because I bogged it down with 1,000 hours of videos. Right, so all of this stuff, and I'm just going to chuck it out of the way for a sec. All the b. Okay, bring this down, clean this up. All right, now that's all multiplied by this. A little off the grid, so let me clean it up. That's the name of the game, right? Everything is about cleaning it up a smidge, a tad, a bit. This is all going to be over n. You know, let me get rid of this, bring this in, and there we go. Get a fraction in red, because why not? So, just like we did before, we do a little distributive property. I'm going to run this over that numerator. Alright, so I'm looking at the sum from I equals 1 to n. Why I've decided to write here all of a sudden, I don't know. Minus, and honestly, might want to kill two birds with one stone. Horrible expression. So you get a common denominator, and in order to do that, I'd have to multiply the top of this fraction by the sum of x squared over the sum of x squared. All right. So a reasonable assumption would be this. It's not really an assumption as much as it's algebra. Minus the sum from I equals 1 to n of x sub I times the sum of I equals 1 to n. I remember maybe 2 videos ago making a big deal about how I was gonna, cut corners and not put the bounds for the summation on there. It's kind of like in a TV show, when they establish a plot thread early on in the series, that never goes anywhere. I did it for a little while, then I just kind of stopped doing it. I have no excuse. All right, so minus A, the quantity sum from I equals 1 to n x sub I close it up and square it all over this denominator here, which in turn is all over that denominator, which in turn is all over a 1, but then when you keep change flip, it's really going to be n multiplied by this denominator. All right, so you can kind of save yourself a little bit of time and energy. Smidge it down a little bit. Bring this over. Copy, bring it in. Oh, undo. Try that again, shall we? There we are. All right. So now, it's not quite as simple as just saying, oh, we did it. We have an expression that's defined in terms of itself. So there's more to it than that. All right, I gotta get this A over with this A. All right. So cross multiply. Eventually, of course. Why do things instantaneously? That would be too easy. All right. So then I'm going to add this. So this should, at least this part should feel like a little bit of deja vu. Very similar to what we were doing on the other side. I'm going to add to both sides. Then we'll do what we did over there. We'll factor out the A, except this, we'll factor out something. In this case, it's the A. Before, it was a B, for those keeping score at home, or that sort of thing. So I'm going to pull out the A, and it's going to leave me with the n sum from I equals 1 to n from x sub I squared plus the sum from I equals 1 to n of x sub I as a quantity squared all right. Now that being said, because I am who I am, why wouldn't I make a sign mistake? I got this negative sign here that needed to distribute not only to this one, but also to that one. So that would have made this one positive. And right down this rabbit hole we go again, or I go. I'm sure you guys didn't screw this up. You all. Oh, lordy. There we go. A little bit better. That should have been a minus. All right. All right. So right-hand side, pretty much the same, except, obviously the part that got moved over is gone. wrong thing there for a sec. And so one small step away from having it, at least we're close anyway. We're gonna take all this stuff, bring it over by division. This goes away. And we're left with this. Now, if you look at the A formula at the bottom, again, sum of y, sum of x squared, got it, minus, dear Lord, thank the maker, a minus, sum of xy, got it, n, sum of x squared, minus the other kind of sum of x squared. And so those are our equations. All right, one for the slope, the b, and one for the intercept, which would be the a value. All right, so, and again, it's in the form of y hat is equal to a plus bx. All right, and so there it is. Now, in a future video, I'll be talking about how we get from this to the other formulas that we use, the ones involving z-scores, for coming up with the linear regression model and from correlation. That's another journey. But for now, I think we've done quite enough.